Today on Hey, We're Talking, some really messy stuff happened in Chicago.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about that until like the very end of the show. Quit doing clickbait, Scott.
It doesn't matter. We're going to talk about who got poo in 2004.
Baby. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. The only problem is when I sing those songs like that, it goes totally against the music, the intro music.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't match the music intro at all.
It's terrible.
Welcome to Hey, We're Talking. My name is Bob Peel. I am joined today by my buddies, Derek Tant. Say hi,
Bob.
Derek.
Hi, how's it going?
And the guy that jumped on the show at the beginning of the show, which is Scotty D. And now I'm going to hand it over to Scotty D.
And then I'm going to hand it over to Derek.
Hey, everybody.
And though you're supposed to hand it over to Bob, and then he'll hand it back to me.
Look, I'm not playing this crap, all right?
Oh, my God.
Somebody called me adorable today.
What?
Isn't that funny? Yeah, isn't that funny?
That's nice. Was it your wife?
Yeah. No.
Was it a girl?
No.
It was a dude?
Maybe not. I don't know.
There was a dude that called you adorable?
No, it was a
female
woman.
coworker?
No.
Like at a store or something?
Maybe.
Why are you being so cryptic about this? Because you don't want your wife to be mad at you because you had some woman call you adorable?
Yeah.
Just tell me, were they old?
What's considered old?
Older than me?
No.
Uh-oh.
So she
You're
was
like
in her
78.
She was in her mid-60s.
You're 78, Scott.
you
So
guys-
Did she say you were adorbs, or did she say you were like
Adorbs.
adorable?
How do people?
If it
how
was
do people
at work,
do that?
that's sexual harassment, man.
No, it was not at work. I got a whole bunch of dudes around me, man.
And that's
Jenny
not
and
true.
Liz
What about
are-
Jenny?
Jenny and Liz are at a different building now. I don't see them all
You don't
the
even
time.
get to see Jenny and Liz anymore?
No.
Does Liz listen to the show or just Jenny?
Liz listened to the show because Jenny did, but now Nicole listens to the show because Jenny does.
Who's Nicole?
Nicole's a new girl at work.
Is she the one that said you were adorable?
No.
Because I'm going to
no.
bring a suit against her, if that's the truth.
You made
No,
it pretty
I met
clear
her
that
once.
This was not
I
a
met her once.
work-related
Hey,
adorbs.
Derek, I don't know if you noticed this about the show, but I tend to exaggerate and goof off. I don't just deal in strict reality or the truth. I goof off.
I've never noticed
I don't know
this.
if you noticed this. Just a heads up. There's a chance that I'm going to say something
I'm gonna have to
else.
ask you to maybe shoot straight from here on out. Let's try to keep
you
it
guys
serious.
don't want me to shoot straight. It'll be bad.
No, because this will be a political show in a heartbeat.
No, it won't.
Gotta
Someday
be
we
like,
we will talk about top politics at some point.
No, we won't.
Yeah, we will. On accident.
If so, it's going to be a special Saturday episode that Scott talks to the wall.
No.
It's not because it's divisive or whatever. It's just boring to me.
Well, it's
Sorry. I'd
it's
rather talk
boring.
about cigars, whiskey, and cartoons.
Yeah, politics is boring, and then it puts people against each other, different points of views,
It's
and it's
true.
like we don't want to separate. Your job is to be positive this year, Scott. Remember?
I'm being positive.
And if you're arguing with somebody over political views, it's not positive.
I don't think of it as arguing.
I think the judiciary branch of the federal government has way too much power, as evidenced by the last 50 years of overage. See, it's putting me to sleep.
Boring.
Just talking
That's
about
actually
it.
more exciting than when you usually tell a story. Zing!
I was actually talking to my daughter last night. She had a paper due for school about like gross domestic product, consumer spending, the economy,
Gross.
how the 1% of the country made 26% of all the income and all of this stuff.
So you don't want to talk about politics, but you're telling me
No,
this garbage.
it was economics.
Okay.
It was all about economics and what the economy does. That was an interesting conversation, but overall pretty boring.
Okay.
But I had to explain it to a 17-year-old.
Okay.
So
I'm just gonna continue on because I got plenty.
Does
of stuff
she
to
know
say.
how to like do her taxes? Because she's gonna be responsible for that like soon, Bob. We've like put that on her plate.
Not yet.
As long as she's living in his
got time
house.
because I'm claiming her as long as I possibly can.
Okay.
This show is just derailed. This is terrible.
Well, it's your job to get us back on track, Mr. Host, so let's go.
Hostess with the mostest. This is one of those shows where I think part of me is like, we should just dive into the topic because there's so many. But then there's another part of me that's like, we'll blow through them really fast and we won't have any time. We won't be able to stretch it out long enough.
Oh, I don't know about that, Scott, because
that's true, because Derek's going to opine on these for sure.
Oh yeah, I got opinions, and I will tell you my opinions on things.
Whoa.
But I got stuff to talk about that's not even on the list.
What?
Bob's list on the spreadsheet. Just spoiler alert, everybody. We're gonna be talking about this month in music history.
Clickbait.
Well, April music history. And so
it's not April yet, but Bob likes to get us ready for April. And
right. So everyone knows the music history before we hit April.
Yeah.
But it's going to remember.
No, nobody's going to remember. But they can listen to the show.
Fun.
They can listen to it again in April.
So, I mean, it's going to be fun. Listen, that's what this is about. You're going to be entertained in the moment.
Right.
Us talking about this. It's not going to edit. It's not going to like make you a better person. You're probably not going to remember anything.
You'll have things to talk about at parties and at the water cooler.
Yeah. A song comes on. Yeah. You're like, oh, hey, did you know
that on April 1st?
Did you know that I learned this from Hey We're Talking? And you should probably check it out at heywe'retalking.com or youtube.com/heywe'retalking.
Yeah, see? Derek, you just proved it. It's
yeah,
revolutionary.
you were arguing against it, and then you just proved the point.
Has anybody ever had that conversation? Prove me wrong. #share the show.
All right, so let's jump into it. Bob, what did happen on April 1st?
Well, April 1st, 1984, Marvin Gaye was shot to death by his father during an argument. It was actually one day before his 45th birthday.
That is crazy.
So Marvin Gaye was actually born April 2nd, 1939. So one day before his birthday, before his 45th birthday, his father shot and killed him.
Talk about just terrible. Your dad kills you. And then as the dad, you got to live with that. Oh.
Now, wasn't his dad like a religious fanatic and basically thought Marvin Gaye was the devil or he was being possessed by the devil?
I have no idea.
Or, you're evil, taught with songs about getting it on, and he's like, you can't have that.
Yes, he was a reverend, Marvin Penske Sr.
Penske?
That's what it says. He was a Pentecostal minister. He was the father of Marvin Gaye, gained notoriety after shooting and killing him on April 1st, 1984, it says. And then what did our statistics say? It was 84. Okay, just making sure they were matched. Following an argument in their Los Angeles home. So I don't know what the argument was about, but his father is now 84. He died in October 10th, 1998. At the age of 84 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Probably did not preach another sermon after that.
Wow.
Probably not.
Well, in prison.
Well, maybe from prison. Yeah.
But I bet you a bunch of the guys in prison were mad at him for shooting Marvin Gaye because they probably liked Marvin Gaye's music.
Yeah.
It says they were arguing over a missing insurance letter.
Oh my gosh. What a stupid reason to kill your kid.
Right.
Yeah.
On top of that,
one of the greatest singers of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, y'all heard this song called Marvin Gaye? It came out a few years ago by Charlie Puth and Meghan Trainor. It's called Marvin Gaye, and the chorus of the song goes, "Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on." It's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
What's
the guy's name again, though? Because I like the way you say it.
Charlie Puth.
Puth. How do you
how
do you go through life with that name, Puth?
I don't know, but some of his new music is really good.
Oh, Derek changed his tune. He likes the Puth.
Yeah,
lots of guys like Puth, though. So let's be real.
I've never heard it called that before, but
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't call it anything. All right,
anything could be anything.
So listen. All
right,
this next one's just too legit to quit. On April 3rd, 1996, MC Hammer filed for bankruptcy. Oh. And that guy had so much money. But he traveled around with all these people, all these friends from his neighborhood, and he employed everybody. Every time somebody needed something, he gave them money. He just made a lot of bad investments, and just his concerts and stuff when he was on tour, he would have literally over 100, maybe hundreds of people that just glommed onto him and used him for every dime he had. It's so sad.
He was, at one point, he was worth $33 million, according to Forbes magazine.
Yep. Lost it all. But the good news is MC Hammer made it through that bankruptcy and built himself back up again, and now he's living a great life. I mean, he's not filthy rich, but he's doing just fine. There you go.
Is he? What's his net worth? Do you think? Do we know that?
As of May 2017, 1.5 million.
See, I will never. You can. He's lost. He's gained and lost an entire fortune, and then regained it back.
Yeah.
For what? Doing insurance commercials. Come on.
Who cares? If somebody came and asked you to do an insurance commercial and you could have $1.5 million of net worth, I'd do it.
I mean, he's probably learned some lessons. If MC Hammer wants to be on the show, I would love to talk about it.
Or if Geico would like to sponsor the program, we'd love to have you.
Geico, I don't like their commercials.
I love their commercials.
They make
and
me
I think what's hilarious about the Geico commercials, ever since they started doing the weird commercials, everybody else started doing them as well.
You know who was the very first weird commercial people?
Ooh.
Little Caesars.
Yeah.
They did them, but they were very sporadic in certain markets.
They were
Geico,
all awkward and weird.
Geico took that to the next level, and then now Doritos and everybody else has followed with these weird commercials.
And just a note to all you advertising geniuses out there, stop it. They're dumb. I don't like them.
No, keep it going. At least it makes them entertaining.
But the truth
it doesn't
is,
get me to buy your product, but
when you're my age, they don't care what I think anymore. Once you're past 45, they don't care what you think.
No, because you're out of that.
Even the truth is before that. I think it's like 35 now.
Yeah, they don't.
Hey,
care
Scott. Hey, Bob.
What? Are we talking? Yeah, we are talking. Go ahead.
I've got some music history for you guys.
What you got?
And it's not in April. It's actually for today, March 28th.
Why would you do that?
Because you want to. This is the day that most people are going to be listening to the show. I want people to know what happened today.
He's always outside the lines. It's unbelievable.
All
March
right.
28th. Go ahead. What is it?
All right, I got a few things for you. Back in 1967, Van Morrison, you know Van, you know?
Yeah, I don't like his music.
He recorded Brown Eyed Girl.
Ugh, kill me.
And that's one of my wife's favorite songs.
Same.
Because she has brown eyes.
So cliche.
Same.
How about 1972, March 28th? Elvis recorded Burning Love, and that would be his last major hit.
Oh.
Hukka, hukka.
Burning Love. Love that song.
Wow, Derek should be an Elvis impersonator.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else, Derek?
Oh, how about in 1973, Led Zeppelin's album, a little thing called Houses of the Holy was released.
Wonderful album.
Yep. And in 1995, Lyle Lovett and Julia Roberts announced they would be separating. Huge moment in music history. Faux show.
Wow.
Huge.
All right. That's it for March 28th. Back to you guys for more relevant.
Well, I will get back to let's get back to April.
This is the last one before we take a break. Go ahead.
In 1968, Jimi Hendrix, B.B. King, and Buddy Guy all met up for a night of blues, a large session after they heard of the assassination of Martin Luther King. So these three guys got together and just jammed out all night long to honor Martin Luther King. That would have been a hell of a concert.
Yeah.
Excuse your language. My goodness.
No, dude, Jimi Hendrix, B.B. King, and Buddy Guy. Yeah.
Legends there.
Interesting.
1968. Scott was 12.
I wish this stuff got me excited, but it doesn't. I wasn't born yet, you doofus.
68? You were at least 18.
Not even close, you doof. You giant doofus. Unbelievable. I'm not a 60s child.
Yeah, you are. It's okay,
You're so
Scott.
dumb.
to
You're
admit
so
it.
dumb. It's so
Your hair.
stupid.
Wait a minute. I was just thinking about it. You know, when we recorded with Tim the other day,
I cut my hair
I-
off.
yeah, you cut your hair off and it doesn't look as gray as it was.
So what? What if it doesn't? I've
Oh,
admitted readily that I put stuff in my hair.
Oh, it looks a lot different than it did a week ago.
Yeah, because I just did it today.
Me, Andrew.
Uh-oh. Derek's blop, blop, blopping. So
Oh, he is.
let's take a break. Oh, there he goes. Let's take a break and we'll come right back. Today's show is sponsored by Gamefly.com. 30-day free trial. Go to Gameflyoffer.com/HWT. Just so everyone knows, we are actually doing April music history.
Yeah, Derek.
Derek just went rogue. He was like, you know what? I like how these guys try and make me play by the rules, but I don't abide by their rules. No rules, just right. Derek
That's
came.
why That's why they listen. That's why they show up.
Is that why?
It's because I like to play fast and loose
He does.
with the guidelines that you guys throw at me.
Oh,
Bob
it's so
and
funny. It's
They're
so
just
funny.
guidelines.
Yeah, don't be mean to Bob because he has guidelines. That's my job.
Yeah, it's not like I have OCD or anything. Obviously, you told me I don't.
Derek is he's really today. I don't know what he's got some kind of bravado because he's not sick anymore. So he's really just going after us, like changing things up and being like, I'll do whatever the heck I want.
I think before the show, Derek had some snuff and snorted some espresso as well.
They should make espresso snuff. That's a good idea.
They probably have it.
I mean, there is espresso coffee flavored snuff out there. I have not had any snuff today, but I did wake up like earlier, so I've been awake for a few hours.
That's what it is.
Not like I usually do when I wake up 5 minutes before the show and I'm like, all right.
We have spicy Derek. I like it. Uh-oh. The cough is returned.
He's sick again.
Oh,
Gosh.
jeez.
Take
Oh.
wait and call me in the morning.
False alarm, guys. I'm fine.
Oh, good,
Okay.
good.
Scott,
Okay.
you want to continue us on here?
Yeah, I'm going to. This one hits now, even though these guys make fun of me all the time, say I'm old. This was a big deal for my generation. In 1994, Kurt Cobain committed suicide. He was 27 years old. Now, I know there are people out there that say we don't know if he committed suicide, that it possibly might have been that hag woman that he married. Although I liked some of her songs when she did them.
Yeah, from the band Hole.
Yeah. What's her name again?
Courtney Love.
Courtney Love. There you go. Yeah. She's a mess, though. My goodness. Anyway.
Yeah, that officially put Kurt Cobain in the 27 Club, which we will be talking about that.
Oh my gosh, that's true.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that down the line.
So back in '94, MTV was still kind of a thing where they played music videos and whatnot, and they had MTV News and Kurt Loder and I forget the girl's name broke in, and they did a whole. I mean, it was like, dude, it was like a couple days of stuff about Kurt Cobain being dead. There was all these vigils and stuff. People all went and put candles and things out for him. It was a pretty huge deal. It was a big deal back then.
Oh, it was a huge deal because, I mean, at that time, you know, I was a teenager, 14, 15 years old, and I was a huge Nirvana fan. And Kurt Cobain was kind of just one of those major guys. It was a major piece of your life. So for him to commit suicide or whatever happened, that was a really, really big deal.
Derek, do you remember it at all when it happened?
It was huge.
It was
and
huge.
Was it Downtown Julie Brown?
I don't think, no, it was I can't remember her, Tabitha Soren.
Yeah,
That's who
okay.
it was. Tabitha Soren was there at that time.
And
Downtown
I do
Julie Brown
remember-
was not a news person, though. But she might have done, like, they had little news breaks where sometimes some of the people that were just like the VJs would say stuff. But generally, it was Kurt Loder and Tabitha Soren that did them.
And I remember I was actually watching MTV when the news broke because it was actually music on
Yeah, they would actually play
MTV.
videos. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but they used to play videos, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. At the time of Kurt Cobain's death, I don't think I was a huge fan of Nirvana, but I eventually did buy that album, Nevermind. And, like, I listened to that CD so much, loved those songs, loved that music, and still to this day really, really do enjoy Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, all-time great.
And Nevermind does have a lot of good songs on it that probably not everybody knows. But they're good.
Mm-hmm.
So here's another one. This one happened on April 7th. And this was such a big deal when this happened, too. George Michael was arrested in Beverly Hills in a bathroom for engaging in a lewd act, better known as doing some dirty deeds with another man in the bathroom. And he got busted and arrested for it. This one reminds me of when Hugh Grant picked up the transsexual hooker in Hollywood and got busted by the cops.
I thought that was Eddie Murphy that did that.
There's a bunch of them. But
I remember
Hugh Grant came on Jay Leno.
Pee Wee Herman, remember he got in trouble for...
He was in a porno theater. Yeah. Yeah. It's so gross, man. Anyway, but when George Michael did this, it was a big deal too. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's because I just keep thinking of Hugh Grant came on Jay Leno's show and he apologized, and he claims that he didn't know that the hooker was a transvestite, but everybody's like, you knew. But yeah. But anyway, Hugh Grant has nothing to do with this. George Michael, arrested in Beverly Hills. His career kind of took a major nosedive after this happened. Like, everything started to fall apart. We know now that he had a lot of drug and alcohol problems that weren't really evident now that he's passed away. But George Michael back then was pretty much still in the groove. Like, he was a pretty big deal. He was making music still, and his career took a hit after this whole bathroom sex scandal.
Yeah, and
Go ahead, Derek.
That's the incident that like made me like aware of the guy, because he had his big heyday in the 80s, and I was a child. I was not, I wasn't a young adult like Scott in the mid 80s where
I was a preteen.
Early 20s.
Yeah,
you guys are so dumb. This bit is getting old.
Not really, actually.
You're the one that keeps doing it. You're the one that keeps doing it.
No, you brought it up.
You're the one that's always like, these guys are going to say I'm old, and so we're like, well,
That's true. That's true.
We're contractually obligated to make.
Okay, so you didn't know about George Michael in the 80s.
Well, I kind of, it brought it to a more full awareness of who the guy is. I really became aware,
once you found out he did sex in the bathroom with another dude.
It's like, oh, George Michael,
hey.
my kind of guy.
Oh, you know what the thing that's so crazy, though, is about this, when that thing happened, I think there was like a 2020 news program or something that they talked about. There was this whole ritual that you did in like bathrooms, and then I found out that in Michigan, it was Hudson's was like one of the big department stores. And so what you would do is you could buy these little shopping bags they had little kiosks, and you could pay to have a little shopping bag from Hudson's, and you would put them in the toilet, in the stall on the ground, and then the person that came in would know that you were looking for a little action.
So how many times did you visit? How many bags did you collect?
0. But they told everybody.
So you were giving away the bag.
They told everybody this because there had been some situations where older men were approaching younger boys when they would come into the bathroom. So it was like this big deal. It got on the news in Detroit. Oh. So there you go.
Well, I'm glad you didn't get convicted. April 10th,
so stupid.
1970,
Idiot.
Paul McCartney announces that he quit the Beatles. The day after that, April 11th, 1970, the single Let It Be by the Beatles hit number 1.
That's convenient.
Of course.
Way to go.
Nice.
That's some clickbait right there, Paul McCartney. Quit the band and then your song goes number 1. No. That was a huge deal too. When Paul McCartney was done, man. Dude, he was out. April 12th.
How did it feel to be a 23-year-old man and have to see that live, Scott?
Oh, you're so dumb. I was not born, you moron.
Kind of apropos that's the song that went. It's like Let It Be,
Yeah, let it be.
Just whisper words of wisdom.
Let it be.
Let it be. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
April 12th, 2000. Napster Incorporated was sued by Metallica. I remember being mad at Lars Ulrich for this.
I remember being mad at Metallica as well because they were the guys that got famous off of people trading their cassette tapes.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason they got famous.
Yeah.
Was just handing it out and everybody trading it, the word of mouth. And then, come many, many years later, 1983 was the album Kill 'Em All. So many years later, 2000, here they go. Now they're suing.
Yeah, but come on, it wasn't really about Metallica themselves,
No,
right?
they said they were doing it for the entire music industry. Yeah.
It's about other artists getting paid. They're not going to get, if you're circumventing the system, if you're not buying CDs, if you're not going to shows, and you're just downloading music, how are these artists getting paid?
But people were
they
still
get
going
paid
to shows.
by going to their shows. That's the
Yeah.
whole point. They don't get
all
any
their
money
shows-
off the albums.
All their shows were still selling out. Bands don't make a lot of money off the albums. It's about the shows that follow the album. So to me, it was just a bad
Yeah, but
thing.
that
And the
doesn't
way they
mean.
took it.
I don't know. I think that
We know that your brother's an artist, and we get it, but the scope has changed now. I mean,
And I
Napster
love
was
Metallica.
pretty forward thinking. Let's be real, because now that's all you do. We don't even buy albums anymore.
Nope.
We pay them every month to listen to music.
yeah, we rent our music, and that's
You don't
fine.
even own music anymore. Oh my gosh,
No,
we could
we
do a
just-
whole story. We could do a whole show about this.
That's fine. I mean, I get to listen to all kinds of great music, and I'm happy paying the Apple Music fee every month. I
Or
basically
Spotify.
pay.
Like
Yeah,
I do.
or
I like
whatever,
Spotify.
yeah.
But Apple Music, if you want to sponsor the show, we'd totally
Or
take
Spotify.
it. Or Spotify,
Well, yeah.
either one.
Yeah.
Derek, what
Well,
happened on April 18th?
Yeah, I didn't pick this one. Somebody picked it for me.
Did
Well,
they
I
really?
just felt I did because I'm like, Derek hasn't talked in a while. He's got to pick one.
Well,
So
he
what
went
happened?
off. He went off book and went through March and did a whole bunch of them. So I mean, he did as many
I know,
as us
but
so
I felt
far.
bad that Derek hasn't got to say one, so I colored it in for him.
Oh, I've said a lot. How about this? Back in 1970, Johnny Cash played for President Nixon at the White House.
That is pretty
his own
cool.
private concert.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
That is cool. That
And
was
then,
April 18th.
I don't know why I picked all these, but April 18th, 1993, the police arrested David Lee Roth in New York City for buying $10 of marijuana.
The band police arrested him, or actual police officers?
That would be, wouldn't that be awesome if the band police got him? No, the actual New York City Police Department, they arrested David Lee Roth for $10 bag of marijuana.
I could just see Sting. David, no, come here. I'm gonna
David,
have to,
we're going to have to take you in and book you for
got to
that.
arrest you.
no, don't do it. You have to come with me.
You don't
Or-
have to smoke that weed now. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, back in April 22nd in 1950, the great Peter Frampton is born, or if you might say, he came alive. He comes alive.
What? That
Peter
was
Frampton, the
stupid.
first guy to actually make a guitar talk. Is that correct?
Is that the wow, wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow?
Yeah. Do you feel like we do? Let me tell you something. Every
I
time
don't think I know any Peter Frampton songs. Am I in trouble? I don't think I do.
I want you to show me the way.
That's
Every
him.
day, I
That's
want to
Peter
be with you
Frampton.
night and day.
Okay.
I don't know.
So I got a couple of Peter Frampton thingies.
Thingies. This has to be the last thing then, if you're going to tell this story, because
Well,
we've
no.
got
Every
like 2
time,
minutes.
every time my family and I go out on a little road trip, like if we go to Dallas or San Antonio, and we listen to Sirius XM, that song that Peter Frampton plays, the one where he makes the guitar talk.
Yeah.
Do you feel like we do? That song comes on every single time.
That's
Really?
awesome.
It really does. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
And my little brother Brandon Ray, who we'll have on the show sometime.
I keep hearing this, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rumor.
Rumor. Clickbait.
Everyone's like, baby.
Are you even
He was-
related to him?
I'm related to him. He was doing something for Musicians on Call. He was getting he was being honored or something by that, and it was Peter Frampton that introduced him.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool.
And so
That's Mr. Big
Brandon was
stuff.
just like, he was like, oh my gosh. It was like, Frampton Comes Alive is an album that I've been listening to since I was a child. I'm blown away right now. So he paid homage to Peter Frampton,
That's pretty cool.
even though Peter Frampton was saying nice things about him.
Listen, we only have time for one more, so I'm going to let Bob do his.
In 2005, the Dave Matthews Band had to pay $200,000 in damages after their tour bus dumped human waste onto a boatload of tourists in Chicago in August of 2004.
Talking about taking a crap on your competition.
What's funny is, it was
That
just,
doesn't make any
I don't know
sense.
who hit the button or whatever, but yeah, it went down off one of the bridges in Chicago or through one of the bridges in Chicago,
Oh, dude.
landed on people and they freaked out.
But, dude,
and-
you could say that you had Dave Matthews poo on you
Right. But here's what's funny. They paid $200,000.
to somebody
Dave
for poop.
Dave Matthews himself, the individual,
Yeah.
is worth $500 million.
I know. The fact you only
So-
got $200,000 for getting poo dumped on you. You
Yeah,
should have got more
but-
money.
Poop on you.
The city of Chicago, definitely, threw that one out there that we will not have musicians
Bands
or
dumping
anyone
their
come
poo.
into our city and dump feces on our people.
Yeah.
What? Okay, sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it
Interesting.
was funny at the time, but it's not like it was Dave Matthews himself. Like, oh crap on these people. So then, what did Dave Matthews do, or the band did?
Huh.
They stopped playing in Chicago for like 6 years.
Oh my gosh. Thanks a lot,
So-
people who got poo dumped on them,
ba-
you jerks.
They're back in Chicago now. Maybe it wasn't 6 years. 6 years. They're back in Chicago now, but they're like, we're not going to come back. So they played up in Wisconsin and gave the revenue to Wisconsin instead of Illinois.
That's a good idea. All right, we're going to wrap up for today. By the way, I just noticed, I think I'm not adept at this, but I believe that Bob has a Zelda on his microphone. Is that Zelda?
Oh, I forgot he was even there.
See?
That's funny. Yeah, that's it's not a Zelda.
What is it?
That is Link.
Okay, I don't know all the...
Link is the person.
I never got into Zelda.
I didn't even know. I forgot that was there.
There you go. All right, we will be back on Friday. We are going to get a little bit nostalgic for a top 5. So we will see you guys on Friday. Make sure you go to all of our stuff, heywe'retalking.com, Hey We're Talking on Facebook, Hey We're Talking on YouTube. You know where to go.